Welcome. This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we bring you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, Duke Debonair, and it's Lando in the building, along with my elder brother, the one who I call Zero, the one who y'all call the Chancellor of Charisma. Zero, how was your Father's Day? And happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. It was boring, just the way I liked it. Yeah, besides going to the park in this heat, basically just laid around. Yeah, basically just laid around. I really didn't want to do anything, but it was like I promised to go to the park, so that was what it was. My coworkers were my coworkers texted everybody in the group chat, "Happy Father's Day." I didn't respond to it. It was,
Me neither.
yeah, it's like I get it, but it is what it is. It was like, look, I don't want to talk to y'all. I don't want to respond to you. It was like we work together, and the only time I really talk to y'all is on Wednesdays. So, and I barely do that.
Yeah.
So we'll come in for a meeting. And then we'll come from me and say, "Hey, you seen anything out there?" It's like, "Yeah, people and bugs." Like, let me be on my way. Yeah, but yeah, nothing special. Like I said, it's like just park and came back and laid around. That was it.
Yeah. Um, so my day is my Father's Day has been good. I got a booster box of Pokemon cards. For the first time, I didn't get anything new, which then when I looked at like the set, I was like, shoot, there ain't much I can get that's new. Um, I guess I never said it on the podcast. I recently got back into get collecting Pokemon cards about a month ago. We used to do it from elementary school till I think I was a senior in high school when I like officially stopped. And it's only because I had, which I need to hit that dude up, which the cards went into storage from somebody we was living with our senior year of high school, and and it just kind of got lost, and I didn't want to have to start all over again. But now I'm starting over again here 20 years later. But yeah, so it's so got some Pokemon cards. Duchess took us to some place down the ocean front to eat dinner. $44 to park.
I beg your pardon.
It was $44 to park. I'm like, I must live in Chicago, New York, and LA all at the same time. So, and the food wasn't good. So it pissed me off even more. Some little Mexican spot.
$44.
I forget the name of it. I'm not even gonna bother trying to find out the name of the place.
You paid $44 to park for Mexican?
Yeah, and like the food wasn't good at all in my opinion. But I mean, I saw this dude. He was walking. He had a sweater on, and his shirt was in his hands like this. I don't know if y'all can see me on the camera, but his hands. He had a sweater on, and he's walking like this, holding his shirt. So I said, "That's the second gayest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Wait,
so, so Lollipop goes, "Well, then what's number one?" I said, "You gotta leave room." Not even joking. 5 minutes later, seeing this dude walking like this,
Holding nothing?
holding nothing. with the Venus and Serena beads in his head. And I said, "You see why you gotta leave room?"
I mean, he might have been cramping, and that was the only way he could relieve the pain.
That don't explain the beads.
They're prayer beads.
So, but
His
then I
treatment
saw this
wasn't
other
working.
dude. I saw this other dude. He looked like he was probably in his 40s or 50s, ripped to shreds. I was like, dang, man, I'm about to ask if I can ball three muscles, man. You know what I'm saying? Eight pack. I mean, he was like Shannon Sharp, yo. He was built like Shannon Sharp, man. I was like,
So
good for
dudes
him.
on that road sparks.
I don't know if he on the road, but he on something. I don't know if it's creatine, protein, xylidine. I don't know.
Yo, I
I don't
mean,
even know if
what?
that's a real thing. But that sound like a PED, so I'm gonna go with
Yo, that
it.
dude. Yo, he finished working out. He take that protein shake. The nah, I'm done.
Dude. So yeah, so I got to see guys who are way better built than me at the beach, on top of having a subpar dinner that didn't wasn't even filling either.
Hey,
Um,
you paid lobster parking for Mexico.
well, I mean, Mexican, it doesn't matter. But it's not like Mexican food's bad food. It's just it was a bad restaurant. So, so
No,
yeah. So,
I wasn't saying it as if it was
well,
a
you said for
bad.
Mexican, so it
Well,
sounds like you're thinking
yeah, I
about
meant
Mexican.
bad Mexican. I was talking about bad
No, yeah.
Mexican
Well,
food.
yeah, no. It's just
Lobster parking for bad Mexican is crazy.
well, I mean, like I said, it don't even matter the cuisine, just bad food in general. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I don't know. I was very disappointed in dinner. Um, but uh, but overall, good day. Uh, and yeah, man, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Happy Father's Day to all the dads listening to the podcast, watching the podcast, wherever you are viewing and or listening to this, observing, I guess. Um, but when it comes to when it comes to understanding why people are who they are and not in like we have certain conversations about certain people, um it just you gotta have clear definitions. What do I mean by that? There was a huge argument, which it seems like that's all the arena is at this point, is just niggas arguing. Is which I guess when it was Gil's arena, it wasn't even that. It was even much more than that. But they were arguing about who is the most influential player of this century so far, 26 years into the century. LeBron James is, or actually, I think it was influential person. I don't even think it was athlete. It was LeBron James. Why do we have to have clear definitions? Because there's influence, there's impact, and there's popularity. So how can I put this? When I think of influential, I think of somebody who changed the way things are done in their perspective field. They're the blueprint, and then everybody tries to follow the blueprint. Impactful means that you are great for your industry. You're very talented in your industry, but you might not move the needle to where people want to follow you and do what you do. Then there's popular, which is you're probably really talented for a regular person, but you're really not that talented in whatever the conglomerate that's pushing you put or behind you, they're just pushing you to the masses. So who are three people I can think of that fit this mold? Um, Michael Vick, influential. Michael Vick, though he wasn't the great, he's the, at least, well, now he's not anymore, the greatest scrambling quarterback of all time. After Michael Vick, people started looking for quarterbacks who can run. That doesn't necessarily mean that they were winning, but as we seen, like they were like people were like, oh, like the scrambling quarterback wasn't winning, and then outside of Tom Brady, what scrambling quarterback or what quarterback who has the ability who uses his leg as a weapon hasn't won since Tom Brady? I think the only guy I can think of is Matthew Stafford. Now, when they're talking about scouting reports and they talk about weaknesses, they talk about your ability to use your legs. So Michael Vick is influential. Maybe Madden made him that, but Michael Vick was influential. Madden 2004 might have made him that, but Michael Vick was influential. Impactful is a guy like Nikola Jokic. Great player, does well in his respective field. One of the best players to do it in the league right now. But that don't really mean much outside of the NBA. And he's not influencing people to play like him in the NBA. So he's more impactful. Most most athletes are in this category. Popular, Caitlin Clark. She's talented. She can actually play. But people are having full-fledged race wars just because people are saying Caitlin Clark is not as good as y'all say she is. And then they talk about jersey sales and ticket sales like that matters about how good you are. So where does LeBron lie? In my opinion, he lies in the impactful stage. Why do I say that? When I used to play basketball with younger people, and also when I was younger playing basketball, there was a consensus on who their favorite player was. And then you would see them try to play like that. A lot of Kobe Bryant, a lot of Steph Curry. Very rarely did I hear LeBron's name, and I was hooping a lot when he was in his prime. And I'm talking about people younger than me, people who like not like my age, who like we grew up in the in the I don't want to say Jordan era, but Michael Jordan was my first favorite player. So like from like Michael Jordan, I couldn't play basketball back then, so I wasn't very good. So I didn't model my game after Michael Jordan. To be honest, the guy who I modeled my game after because shooting didn't come natural to me was Jason Kidd. Um, but so that's the guy who I like watched a lot of basketball about. And then and then so it's just like that's the person when I was really started hooping, I guess what year 2000, 2001 to the my game was more fully developed was Jason Kidd. Um that being said, the guy I'm thinking about the generation behind me. So the generation that was in middle school when LeBron was starting to play. Like those guys at 5, 6 years behind me weren't saying LeBron was their favorite player. They were saying Kobe was their favorite. So with the debate or the argument that came up was that LeBron was influential just because he was a great player, or LeBron was the most influential because he's a great player. And it's like, what we have to have clear definitions on what influential is. Michael Jordan was influential. Magic Johnson, I don't even. I would say probably Larry Bird was a little bit more influential than Magic Johnson, mainly because Larry Bird got white people loving the NBA again. Before then, before then it might have been Clyde Frazier with the dressing, how he came to games. Joe Namath. The reason why people ignore that he had a mediocre statistical career mainly because of the style that he brought to the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, Allen Iverson, major cultural impact, major influence, like huge, wildly influential. And, Shaq is probably the one who kind of borderlines both. Um, but I don't know. Then Brandon Jennings compares him to Muhammad Ali, which was just idiotic because like nobody's done what Muhammad Ali has done. Nobody. Nobody sacrificed their career. Like, there's been two people who stopped boxing or who stopped their professional career because of jail. Now, I don't think Ali went to jail, but Ali was facing jail time. And then Mike Tyson actually went to jail and did 3 years. And who knows as great as people and fearful as people are of him now, imagine if he would have had those extra 3 years. So it's just like, I don't know. I need a clear definition. I think us in the sports media or the media space need to start having clear definitions when we're having conversations, and especially comparable and comparison conversations and lists and things of that nature. Like influence, impact, popular. And the guys who are influential are a lot of times all three. But it's just levels to it. Like, you can be popular and never be impactful. You can be impactful, but never really be that popular. But I don't think you can be influential and not be the other two. So your thoughts on the whole matter?
First off, I I still don't understand what provoked him to even open his mouth and say that.
Yeah, I was watching it and he was like, what he said specifically was LeBron James is the Muhammad Ali of this era. How?
Yeah, and it's like you what is because of this because of the school? It's like is that the reason as to why? Like because I don't think he ever gave a reason as to why besides him wanting them to put the cover back up on the screen. But yeah, you're right. We do need some clear definitions
And I think that's what they were trying to do on the show.
because that what was it? The whole conversation even went to where it was at because McCants wanted to know what the definition was because there has to be like there has to be some sort of understanding in this to find out why when it comes to this subject matter LeBron is number one. 'Cause I didn't read the article to find out as to why. But if it's purely basketball, and I'm pretty sure it has something because what was it in the conversation? They were like, it was like raising. He's like him building the school and him raising his kids, and I think I forgot somebody mentioned him be. I think Jennings mentioned him being a billionaire while he's still playing.
Yeah, he's the first. You say he's the first billionaire athlete that was that active billionaire athlete.
Yeah, so it was like, but what's the influence though? What makes him influential in that aspect? Because because even now it's like nobody's
This
really out
person.
here just nobody's out here really trying to like when he came out and he got that Nike deal. Nobody's handing anybody coming into the league now that type of deal. It's like I don't know if that.
Zion, it wasn't as big, but I think he got 75 million before he played.
Oh, and we see where that went right into the fridge. But what's it called? I'm just curious as to I'm gonna look this up as yeah, because the fact that he came out his mouth and then used somebody who literally was sacrificing his career for what he believed in. It was like, do you think LeBron would ever do something like that? It was like the fact that and that was the thing that made me mad because it was like you said he's the Muhammad Ali of this generation, and then when the question was posed, do you think LeBron would have given up his prime years for something he believed in? And when you answer, I don't know, it's like let's not ever like don't ever open your mouth. Um, Yeah, don't ever open your mouth and say some dumb shit like that ever again. But what's his name? Jennings has been like this toward LeBron for the longest, or the people that he's played against, or that has been in the era that he played in.
Yeah, I can understand the bias because it's like these are the guys you really went up against. You really you know develop relationships with things of that nature. So I get like where the bias comes in when it comes to those things, but the thing is, it's this century, right? And so it's
Yeah,
just like, again, like if you're gonna put a basketball player there, I think it should be Steph Curry. Is it good? People are saying that Steph Curry ruined basketball with his shooting.
because now
The
everybody
league,
walks onto the court.
the league, the thing about LeBron's skill set is not everybody can be LeBron. And what I mean by that is like you can't be, not everybody can be a physical specimen and be as versatile as he is. Where it's like, you like it's a different mentality. And there's a lot of ball dominance as well in there as well. But it's just like as far as style of play, the only guy you could really say does it at like with a similar style of play would maybe be Luca, but Luca's nowhere near as athletic. You see what I'm saying? But like he's a
Yeah,
guy who can get you a triple double, and ball dominant and things of that nature. But more so is usually generally looking to score. He's not as good of a passer as LeBron. He's nothing close to the defender that LeBron was in his sleep. LeBron sleeping in his bed could regard more positions than Luca could. So It's just like, but Steph Curry changed the game. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry did for Under Armour what Jordan did for Nike. Like I remember going to the gym, seeing dudes wearing Steph Curry's. I'm like, who the hell wears Under Armour's? Like, you got the protect your houses on? They're like, no, those are Steph Curry. Steph Curry got a shoe for Under Armour. Not like Steph Curry got a shoe. He got a shoe for Under Armour. LeBron
So
still can't outsell Jordan shoes. Jordan been retired for his entire career.
so the cover story for him being one of the most influential people in sports, um, yeah, it said it explores LeBron James' unprecedented longevity, off court business endeavors, and political activism. Says his historical impact. James was specifically celebrated for ushering in the modern era of player empowerment and business diversification in basketball.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. My thing is, like, Jordan got into ownership.
Mhm.
Magic Johnson had multiple businesses after he retired. I don't know. I guess because he's an active player doing it, where there's a difference, but it's not like we haven't seen other athletes. Like I think Jamal Mashburn and I think it was Adrian Dantley. Like they got a bunch of investments. I think Adrian Dantley was like a crossing guard or something like that, and he's
Yeah,
making so much money off of his investments. It's just like, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's strange.
I really think it's because of the school. That
Well,
yeah,
they didn't mention the school though, did they?
yeah, they didn't mention the
Yeah,
school.
so it's not the school. It's definitely not the school because that would have been they would have led with that or at least mentioned it. And again, from what I looked up the school the other day, and the school has been underperforming and things of that nature. So that's definitely not something that people want to highlight right now. So yeah, no, yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the school. I just think that because he was the biggest athlete in the world, or at least in the U.S., because the soccer players have more of a worldwide influence.
Yeah, because yeah,
Frozen.
he was voted athlete of the century by Time Magazine.
Which that if he's athlete of the century, I'm not tripping off of that. But yeah, we just got to get clear definitions. Like like there's a clear definition for stupid, right? And we saw this on ESPN on live TV, where a grown man calls winning an NBA championship a participation trophy. Winning any championship should never be considered a participation trophy.
It's the highest honor. You go through all the training, all the practices, all the grueling games just to get to the end to raise the trophy and show that you were the best team in the
I,
league.
I'm a Knicks fan. I didn't fully believe the Knicks could win the championship until I saw what happened at the end of game 2. Maybe I don't care if you're not a real Knicks fan. If you again, there's clear definitions for stupid, right? It's because, and I'm saying that like it's because like with how the Knicks were playing in the regular season, with the fact that they went down 2-1 against Atlanta, that's not a better team. It's just like We just saw this team beat the reigning champs. Why would I believe they're going to win a championship? I had no, I had no fear that they would make it to the finals, but I didn't think they were going to. I was like, whoever's that comes out of the West probably going to win. So it's just like you didn't think the Knicks were capable of winning a championship until they won the championship, or at least until they got to the finals. And now you're saying they need to win it again in order for you to believe that they're a championship team. I'm like,
So do you not feel that? So was it the same mindset when the Nuggets won? The same
it's
mindset when the Bucks won? Any of
nobody
them?
cared. Nobody cared until it was the Knicks. Because Knicks fans are the basketball, well, were the basketball until they won a championship. What Cowboys fans were the football. So people hate the Knicks mostly because of the fan base. And especially it's New York, because them Cowboys fans are all over the place. But it's the New York in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the arrogance, the cockiness, the bluntness. You know what I'm saying? And like it's New York, so it's just like y'all don't like it because it's New York, and it's just like, and we didn't win a championship for 50 plus years, so it's just like y'all don't like it for that reason. So that's why you have to do everything to diminish this championship. That's why you have to say that Wemby got tired. That's why you gotta say it's a participation trophy because there's been 8 different champions.
No, yeah, because if the Spurs ended up winning that, would the
Nobody's saying that.
yeah,
They're what
nobody.
what they're gonna say.
Yeah, there was like, oh, it's like, look, the Knicks got close, but no cigar. As
What would they
we,
say about the Spurs?
hmm,
The
probably
main
say
thing that they would be talking about,
how young they were.
no, how Wemby's the next thing. And the fact that he won a championship so young and is only up from here.
He's gonna be winning multiple championships. Yeah,
Frozen. They're gonna expect him to win another championship, and they're gonna expect him to win it better. And it's going to be a foregone conclusion that they're going to win a championship again, or that Wemby's going to win multiple championships.
nobody's gonna say anything about De'Aaron Fox and how they need to get rid of him.
And so it's like, how are you going to call it a participation trophy because multiple teams, there's been 8 different champions, when that's what the fans were screaming about after the Warriors? This is
'Cause-
why all of these media people are disingenuous. Because after the Warriors dynasty, everybody was like, "You can't put these super teams together. A Warriors team shouldn't be able to get a KD." They just happen to. It's not like Miami where they like cleared out their roster to make cap space. They just happened to be able to sign the biggest free agent because they had the cap space to do so. They didn't move anything around to do it. They just didn't re-sign Harrison Barnes. So it's just like, oh, we got the super teams, and especially with LeBron and LeBron's reign in the Eastern Conference, we got
and they
solid
just
super
and
teams.
it was the same 2 teams for 4 straight years. There was no parity.
Exactly. And so, and people were getting upset with that, mostly because, like, after the 3-1 comeback, it wasn't a competition after that. Once they got Kevin Durant, because it's just like, all right, they're like we're gonna see the same team keep going. They played each other 4 times, and
Yeah,
the Warriors made it
5 straight years.
five straight years. I think, was it 5 straight?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was
five
5
straight
straight. So
because
the
they
Warriors
because
went
they
to
ended up
5
losing
straight,
to.
went 6 times in 8 seasons. You know what I'm saying? And y'all are looking like, oh well, we don't need this.
6 times.
Yeah, they went 5 straight. They went 3-2. and then they won in what was it, 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, so yeah, 6 times.
Oh no, went 6 times. I was thinking won six
No, 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 no,
times.
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
that
They only
that
got
was on
four.
me. That was on me.
Yeah, they only got four. So it's just like, what are we talking about? Like, how is that a part? Y'all said that this was too much, putting these super teams together. And then when the league does something about super teams, now that you don't have back-to-back champions, now you call it a participation trophy because teams win basketball games. Here's what should happen. Here's what should happen now that we have so much parity. Get rid of fucking playing. We do not need those teams. You're just wearing those teams down more. Those
Yeah.
7 to 8 seed teams. They're not beating the 1 and 2 seeds most of the time, anyways. 90-some% of the times, anyways. So we do not need a lucky 10 seed to make it just to get uh, 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 Stone Cold Steve Austin mud stomped into the ground.
And walking it dry to the second round.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so we should get rid of that. But why is it a participation trophy now that the Knicks won it?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it don't make any sense. It's because the Knicks won. No, the narrative would be something completely different if this because the what's it called? The Knicks, besides, it was like the Knicks have they got Brunson, but they're not gonna consider, but the media don't consider him a superstar. It's
And
like, yeah,
nor should they have before now.
no, but it was like, but the with Wemby being the folks wanting him to be the face of the league. It was like you got the guy who could be the potential face of the league um in the finals. He took out the champions. Yet there have been nothing but positive things to say about Wemby. They wouldn't have, nobody would have said it was a participation trophy because somebody who you want to be that who folks are clamoring to be the face of the league wins a championship. Now it solidifies it because now
They would have started talking about him like, can he pass Jordan
after
for how
one,
many rings? They would have started saying that. That would have been the media narrative. And it's just like, yo, that dude built like 5 baguettes. Why do you want him to be the face of the league?
he need to go in the weight room and get stronger. It's
I'm so
like,
sick of people saying he need to bulk up.
it's like
I'm like, no, he needs to get stronger. There's a difference. Not saying he won't get bigger by getting stronger, but y'all talking about like this dude, like he need to
he
gain
need a
40
dirty
pounds of
bulk.
muscles. Like he do not need to do that. He just needs to get stronger so he's not pushed around. But he's 7'5". What 7'5" guy didn't get pushed around? It's called center of gravity. They have a high center of gravity because they're high. They're built like skyscrapers. What are we talking about?
Speaking of skyscrapers, you remember when we asked that question, when we asked ourselves that question, whatever happens to that dude, that tall, lanky dude, the white boy with the
Oh,
parentheses
oh
head and
yeah,
neck?
yeah, yeah. What happened to him? Did you find out?
He's an actor now.
Oh,
He played I know he played an alien
yeah, that makes sense.
in a block I think it was a blockbuster movie. I mean, I don't mean a movie from Blockbuster either. But he played he had I think it was in I think it was one of the Prometheus movies, I think. He had played like this lanky alien. I can't remember what the movie was called though, but I think it was one of those. But
He ain't no actor. He's just a tall nigga in a suit. That dude, yeah. When I saw that dude run, I knew
this ain't it for him.
basketball is not in his future.
No, yo, he suffered from. No, I know he had like this. He had this bad. He had this medical condition, but the fact, but he suffered from being tall and folks saying, "Hey, you need to play basketball because you're tall."
I'm not mad at that because when you got a kid who's 8 feet tall in middle school, like what else? Do something. No one's saying you're gonna go pro, but do something. But when I saw that dude run down that court, I was like, that dude run like he has nothing but bones and ligaments in his body. He don't got no kind of muscle. I don't know how he's supporting himself. I don't know how his body just hasn't collapsed.
Uh,
And all right, so talk to me. What is it about? I don't know. I'm not familiar with this guy, Vincent. I forget his last name.
Me either.
Um, okay, I'm about to say, is this dude somebody who just does hot takes? Is he somebody
Like
who
when you told me about it and I saw his face, I asked myself, who the hell is this nigga? Because I've
like
never seen him before. And they say he was on ESPN saying this. It was like
on Get Up?
y'all just brought a nigga off the street. He was standing there with his hands on his hips and his fingers in his pockets, and you
If if nothing else deserved a boy, this is out the mud. That deserved that.
that was commercial break territory. Like, don't let him finish talking. It was like it was a participation trophy. We'll be back after these short breaks. We got bills to pay. And
And quite frankly, he would never be invited on that show again.
yo, yeah, what should have happened? Remember what I think it was Ben Watson, the who played a tight end in the NFL. Remember when the dude made a joke about his wife picking out his suit, and then they came back from commercial, and the dude who made the joke wasn't there anymore. That's what that's what should have happened.
His wife picked out his tie.
Oh, but his suit, his tie, he wasn't there anymore. Yeah, that's what should have happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Or they
I
did
mean,
that shit from The Simpsons, when something happened and then they just switched to technical difficulties.
yeah. That. That just don't. You said it on national airways, and there's two like yeah. Like I said, it's a Knicks thing. Um,
Yeah, because they, like you said, the Knicks are basically the Cowboys of the NBA. It's like, folks don't like the fan base. They haven't won in a long time. I think the only difference with Knicks fans versus Cowboys fans is that I've never heard Knicks fans brag about their last championship.
yeah. The other thing about Knicks fans and Cowboys fans is the Knicks fans actually did boycott James Dolan. The Cowboys fans, maybe because they all voted for Trump, they're just too stupid to do something like that. But like, they're just not educated enough to actually like to realize they actually have real power. So it's just like, yeah, let's just keep making this guy richer. And it's true. That's what I did. I was like, yo, not gonna keep putting money into James Dolan's pocket
Mm.
while he refuses to put out a good team. True, but like I said, I made the promise I'll be a die, or I would get Knicks memorabilia when they made it to the conference finals. And the reason why I believe they made it to the conference finals is it got rid of mishandle Randall. So there's that. On to some more stupid shit. I don't know what we can do as a country. Like, all right, I just need to give y'all this time. Trump said deal that we gave Iran is the best deal, and that somebody from that side called Barack Obama a stupid SOB. I don't know how. So Barack was stupid because he released around $2 billion of assets. You released $25 billion and gave them access to a $300 billion fund, and nothing changed with their nuclear program that you supposedly completely eliminated. And then you're like, okay, we're gonna chill, open up the Strait of Hormuz. You know, we good. Just let's see how things go. And not even 2 days later, that's how you know. That's how you know the Jewish people or the Israelis don't give a damn about Jesus Christ. They like, no, we rising on the second day. We better. We ride. You muted. You muted.
Even give that. They even give the. They even give it the time to breathe. They
They
just.
didn't even let the weekend go by. Do you know how miserable you got to be if you ready for action on the weekend? Time for relaxation. They attacked on the Sabbath. You violated your own religious law.
Oh my God. They don't give a shit. Not
They
good.
don't, man. But
They
these are
don't give
God's
a.
chosen people. I've seen Christian people sent for which I don't even understand it because you're Christian. Christian people send me videos saying of Christian pastors saying, I ain't going against the people that was chosen by God. Okay.
Okay.
God bless America. America blesses Israel. I don't even understand. And it's like, okay, we're just going to attack. I think they attacked Lebanon. But it was supposed to be a ceasefire all throughout. And they're like, oh, well, since we can't attack them, let's attack Lebanon. Like, what's happening here? This guy, Netanyahu, has to be
A
one of the
Yahoo.
7 worst human beings of my lifetime. And the reason why I say 7 is because of my philosophy earlier. You got to leave room. You got to leave room.
He can be higher. He can be lower.
No, he can't be lower. But he can't be lower than 7. But like him, Trump, Epstein, the three of them definitely in that top 7. Actually, Epstein definitely number one. Definitely number. But 2 through 7 depends. You know what I'm
There's a
saying?
debate.
Depends on how I feel. I say I'm talking about in my lifetime. I'm not talking about Hitler and Stalin and Genghis Khan. For y'all talk, so for people start being like, oh, what about this historical feature, like a figure feature, figure. Like, okay, I wasn't born in the 1800s when King Leopold was cutting hands off. I'm sorry. Like,
I didn't get drafted. I didn't get drafted into World War II when Hitler was around.
yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know. I don't know about Mussolini. I'm just saying. I only know about.
I know about them, but they just weren't in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I'm like. Okay, what did you do that for?
Yeah. I don't get it. Like I said before, it's like it's like it seems like whenever things are going right and treaties are ready to be signed and everything is going to be right with the world, Israel seems to want to be like, fuck that shit. And just go on the fucking warpath.
So I was talking to Big Mike about this a few months ago, whenever the whole thing had started, and he was like, "Yo, like," he was like, "I kind of understand why the Israelis be always like the first to hit." Well, he was like, "Well, October 7th, they weren't the first to hit." I'm like, "They've been hitting since the 40s." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand like why you think this particular event changes the fact that they've been attacking these people for 60, 80 years. But anyways, so he was, but I thought about it because when he was saying that, he was like, because when the Jews were saying like the stuff that was going on in Germany, like nobody believed them because of propaganda. And I was like, at first I was like, yeah, I can understand like where it's like, we ain't gonna never let that happen again. But then I'm thinking to myself, were Israelis? Did that happen to Israelis? So I don't. You're more of a history buff than I am. So I just don't. I remember it was European Jews that were mostly the ones who were slaughtered. I don't know if they ever got down to so like this fear from. I get it in a certain extent, but this fear of these people attacking you when you're always the one hitting first, you hit them, you cut their leg off, they spit on you in retaliation, because that's virtually like what the military power structure is in that area with them versus everybody else. You chop their leg off, they spit on you because you chopped their leg off, and you're like, I can't believe you spit on me. The audacity, the unmitigated gall.
Yeah, I searched. This says Israel has fought six major wars and engaged in several preemptive strikes or incursions against neighboring countries before, during, and after signing peace treaties.
And that's what Iran was saying. They were like, yo, like, we willing to do business, but you got to deal with Israel because they never honor anything.
Yeah, they said military scholars and historians debate exact number of times Israel has attacked first versus taking preemptive defensive action.
Bruh, they got to have pictures.
Because it doesn't make any sort of sense how
And man, bruh, it might not even
every
be
time,
pictures.
every time
It might not even be pictures, yo. They got footage. They got raw, unfiltered footage.
they got an 8 millimeter camera of footage somewhere in the
Zoomed in,
archives.
zoomed in. They like, look, if you ever say you ain't gonna do something for us, we gonna hit the button on your ass.
It really makes absolutely no sense how they just it's like it just feel like these attacks are just unprovoked.
They are.
It's just like yeah, they have to be because the fact that this says before, during, and after peace treaties. It's like everybody's guard is down, and you're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and fire
Yeah,
these missiles off.
yeah.
Let's go ahead and kill some more men, women, and children. They got nothing to do with this shit.
I don't know. I don't know what of course I'm not in those positions of power or influence, but I'm like, bruh, something's gotta give, yo. Something's gotta give. Like they're only doing this because we're backing them. So we can't continue to back the BS.
It's like Do they only have their military power because of us?
I mean, people argue that. I don't know for sure. I heard the Israeli military is very skilled, though. I This is kind of a change of topic. I gotta wrap this up here soon.
All right.
Um, got a question. If Donald Trump has been attempted to be assassinated a multitude of times, even got shot in his ear and has no scarring or damage to his ear. But
Uh-huh.
that's a story for another podcast that we'll never have.
That dude pop red food coloring by his face.
Yeah. Why would you host an MMA event at the White House? Why would you go to Madison Square Garden? If your life is that much in danger that you people taking shots at you,
Now, now the Madison Square Garden one, you know how shut down they basically shut down everywhere around the arena. It seemed like that was the only that was the safest he's ever been because they shut everything
but
down
but not
before.
necessarily because people were in the garden. Like, all right, honestly, Madison Square Garden holds like 22,500 people. Like, yes, the Secret Service is there. They, I'm not saying that this would happen, but clearly it didn't happen. But what if all 20,000 of these people conspired to attack the president? There's not enough ammunition for y'all to do something.
Yo, you know what? You saying that just reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho when Tagoro went to 100% and he was like, he's like, I'm charging this bastard.
And Donald Trump is no Tagoro by any stretch of the imagination. I saw this report that said that the doctor said that Donald Trump was 4% body fat. That nigga built like the penguin and kingpin at the same time. That shit don't make no sense, man.
Oh my goodness. I know. 4%.
4.8% body fat. And then they
No,
put
no,
on
that was 4.
Alan Ritson, the guy who
Uh-huh.
plays
That place is a
Reacher,
reacher.
and they were like, this guy's actually the height and weight that they say Donald Trump is, and look how he's built versus. I was like, that dude built like a lunchbox. That dude built like one of the lunch pails. Built like he got a turkey sandwich, ham sandwich on wheat. No,
No, rye. On rye.
no mayo, no mustard. Just a
It's on rye
dry,
because
just a
nobody eats rye
dry
bread.
rye ham and cheese sandwich.
No, what's it called? No, you built like the sandwich that Homer used the last finger on the monkey paw. He's like, I want a turkey sandwich on rye bread. He's like, I don't want. What did he say? He said, he didn't want any zombie turkeys and he didn't want to turn into a turkey himself. It's like everything's falling apart around you, and the last wish that you make is a sandwich wish. But the turkey was still dry. That's what
Turkey
true.
is still dry. But yeah, so I don't know what are we to do as what should the leaders do? Like it should just be to cut them off, right?
Yeah, I would think that'd be the easiest thing, but clearly Israel doesn't know how to control themselves. So my so I looked it up. They said that their domestic budget funds their military. Um,
I can understand where the domestic budget would fund their military, but they could probably do their domestic budget to fund their military because our money is supporting so many other things. Like for
yeah,
some
they,
reason, Israel has universal health care while America doesn't.
yeah. Oh
But I
yeah, but they
digress.
said but the what's it called? U.S. commits $3.8 billion to
Yeah, I
Israel
heard it was like three
annually.
billion
Yeah, they said which includes
for
500
what?
million. I don't know. Um,
Pictures, yo.
they said 500 million is for missile defense programs. Um,
The crazy thing about the Trump deal when they were like, "Oh, we heard that they could still get ballistic missiles," and he's like, "Yeah, everybody else around them has them, so I don't see why they like we should just cripple them." But I'm like, didn't you just say you destroyed their whole military and their nuclear program? So didn't you cripple them already? Why are you worried about whether they? That guy is such a liar, yo. All he do, him. The only reason why I believe that he's the biggest liar I've ever seen in my life
mhm.
is because I've actually seen LeBron tell the truth.
So
Like you see what I'm saying? Like
wait,
LeBron
so
lies to every camera he sees, but he does tell the truth. Donald Trump, I can't think of three times, two times, one time that Donald Trump has spoken a truth on TV in front of a camera. Frozen.
I don't know.
Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I just don't. Maybe I just don't watch him enough. But yeah,
No, maybe when he's telling Melania that he doesn't love her anymore. That's probably the most truthful he'll ever be.
that dude is really looking out here. Out here, we really got a president built like Oogie Boogie, and it wouldn't surprise me if somebody pulled at a scene of his. He wouldn't just.
My bugs. My
Yeah,
bugs.
he would just bugs would just fly out of him. Vile. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. I ain't never seen nobody lie this bad in my life and still have people believe him. I've never seen nothing like that in my life, man.
Yeah, he
And
has.
Israel's like that girlfriend that gets you in the fights all the time. Like, why are you always talking to the biggest guy and he's always disrespecting you and you telling him you gonna get me to beat his ass. He's 6'4", 227. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9", 114. Me, you the same size. What you think about that?
The fact that you're a grown man at 5'9" and 114 is
You
crazy.
know what I'm
It's
saying?
like
Like,
you
what do you think
fucking
about
built like a
that
middle schooler.
happening? Oh man.
Yeah, that is true because what's the reasoning for because like Strait of Hormuz is open,
Now the strait
gas
is
prices
closed. Gas
going
prices
down.
finally went down. They like, nah. And so at this point, it's just like, all right, they're doing. If Israel's going to do what's in best interest for Israel, then America has to do what's in best interest for America. And if Israel's not going to play ball, something has to be done.
Yeah,
But when they got pictures on you, when
they
they got
have
footage,
they have the Epstein files.
what they have the raw footage of the Epstein files.
Yeah, they were the camera crew.
Wouldn't surprise me. I saw somebody on Twitter post during the Trump thing, and they were like, there was multiple threats on Trump's life during the White House
Yeah.
event, and they were like, they caught three of the 35 Mossad agents. First of all, how could they identify the Mossad agents? And second of all, ain't they on our side? Because that's Israel. I'm like, oh, like y'all, there's something wrong with y'all. Y'all so racist, you don't even know anything. You're like, oh yeah, because it's the Jews that are ruining everything. That's who trying to take out Trump this time. They're literally asking us to fight a war for them. What are you talking about?
And I think it was a white dude who ended up snitching on everybody. Yeah, I think it was a white dude who ended up snitching on everybody. He was like, "Hey, look." They put him into that interrogation room. They said, "Yo, don't get that nigga nothing to eat." He's like, "All right, I'll talk." Because it was a fat white dude, apparently. He's like, "Oh, you hungry? Don't give him any food." All right, I'll talk.
Yeah, probably they probably offered him to eat. It was just not nothing he liked.
He was like, "Yo, let's go get us some Denny's." Oh no, no, no.
Nah, he probably eat the Denny's. They probably like, oh, go get. Hey, good. What's that? What's that one place that sell nothing but salads? What the hell is that? There's a restaurant that sells nothing but Veggie Works. I think it's Salad Works. Salad Works. Salad Works. They're like, oh, we gotta order Salad Works. I swear to God. I swear to God. That's and I'll tell it everything. Just please give me grease. Give me a tasty morsel of something fried.
Tell us what we need to know.
Man, with that, like that dude on First 48. Yeah, I know his shoe size too.
How you know his shoe size? I borrowed a couple pairs.
That was insane. Yo. I mean, that's legendary snitching.
So you know his shoe size. We ain't asked for any of that.
Exactly. Why are you so willing to give up all this information? I'm sending you to prison for that.
It's like,
You
I know
giving up
that
too
nigga blood
information.
type,
You giving up too much information. You guilty of something, so we just gonna keep you in. Because telling somebody shoe size, we didn't even have a footprint on the scene. It wouldn't do anything for us. Why would you imagine they take this suspect now and they like take his Air Force Ones off? And
it's like, are they a 10 and a half?
it's not our guy.
He was like, are they a 10 and a half? Do you wear a 10 and a half? I don't. I wear an
Oh
11.
man, he's not our guy. Yeah, this is name, date of birth, social security number,
But
but
his shoe
those shoe
size ain't
sizes
right.
don't match. Unbelievable, man. Anyways, let's wrap this up. I want our parting shot to be father focused. So zero. What's your parting shot? And you're frozen.
Um, my parting shot is cherish every moment with your kids because you never know. Because 1 minute, say 1 minute they are bothering the hell out of you, asking you all sorts of questions, giving you hugs and telling you I love you for no reason, and then the next minute they're off to college, starting families. Cherish every moment that you have.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. Um, my parting shot is the best thing that I realized as a father is that your kids are going to be as good as you want them to be if you allow them to be. Trust them when they make bad decisions, scold them, but still love them. They're not going to get it. None of us got it when we were young, and it's just a circle of life. And just continue to be the best father you can be. I know there's some people out there who aren't necessarily as active as they'd like to be in their children's lives as fathers, but like Zero said, just echoing that, you know, you do have that time, whether you every weekend, every other weekend, once a month, treat it. Do nothing else matters. Treat it like it's everything. Treat it like it's the last time you'll ever see him, because it might be. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching and listening. Subscribe, like, comment, share. This has been the Between Brothers Podcast. We love you. We'll see you next week.